A very good morning to one and all. Happy evening. Okay, so let's begin our session. So welcome to one and all. Today's topic is general meetings, and before starting our topic, let's have the power capsule. The power capsule for today is the positivity. So everyone have a positive outlook, which is very, very important in your life. Because in our life, we see so many difficulties. But you can fight with those difficulties only when you have a positive outlook. So keep your face to sunshine so that you cannot see a shadow. It means that if you see, suppose if you could not do well in your examination, if you got a bad result, so don't keep on thinking about that. Put your, focus on your efforts. Have a positive outlook, thinking that you would get good marks this time. You do well in your examination. Come out of all your fears. Don't be scared at all. Go fight like a soldier. Okay, so in this way, if you have a positive outlook, all your negative thoughts will be erased and you can do things in a very successful way because of your positivity. So, positivity is like a sunshine. It comes every day. Every day it has to come to you. How the sun every day, sun rises in the east and sets in the west, they say. So how the sun rises every day, which removes the darkness of the night. In the same way, think positive. You should always instruct to your brain, saying that I will do, I will achieve, I can do, I can give my best. Okay, so please try to be positive. Instruct your brain that you will do. Even though you fall 7 times, even though you can't be successful number of times, but you can stand up at the 8th time. See, when you see a small child, when he is somewhere around 8 months, 9 months old, he would try his best. He would actually initially start sitting and crawling. If you observe a small child, చిన్న పిల్లాన్ని చూస్తే మనం అతను ఆ బాబు గాని ఆ పాప గాని ఫస్ట్ ముందు పాకుతూ మెల్లిమెల్లిగా కూర్చోడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. At the same time, వాళ్ళు అక్కడితో ఆపేరు. They stand up, they fall down. They stand, they fall down. But they will stand until they achieve. They will stand until they get a proper balance, even though they fall number of times. So in the CA also, students, please don't get disheartened that you could not get good marks or could not do well. Work hard until you stand up and become successful. Okay, so with this mantra, today we are going to start a session of general meetings. Let's begin the topic general meetings for today. In the last class, I have started the introduction for a meeting. In the introduction for meetings, we have seen so many important aspects. What are meetings? Like generally, meeting is nothing but an interaction of one and many, or one to one, or many to many, to come to it, to discuss a particular point and to come to a decision. And in a company's perspective, there are different kinds of meetings like board meetings, shareholders meetings, and class meetings. Board meetings are the meetings where only board of directors will meet and discuss their matters or take the decisions on behalf of the company. In case of shareholders meetings, it is also called as general meetings where all the people who are related to the company will meet and decisions are taken by equity shareholders. And class meetings or creditors meetings are exclusive meetings of those particular category only. Okay, in this way we have seen different categories of meetings. And meeting for who will organize, who will conduct the meeting on behalf of the company means board of directors or committee of directors, whoever are authorized are responsible for conducting the meeting. Okay, along with this, we have also discussed an important provision of length of notice or notice under section 101 of the Companies Act in the last class. We discussed the provision of notice under 101 of the Companies Act. Okay, so let's see them what we have discussed in the last class. Okay, what are the different contents? What is the word? It is all general information. Please don't by heart know just the purpose or the content of this particular slide. And the meetings are necessary because to solve problems, to solve their various issues, and to come to a decision. And the types of meetings also we have seen. And the important general meetings according to the Companies Act 2013 are two types of general meetings. They are annual general meeting under section 96 and extraordinary general meeting under section number 100. Okay, what are the annual general meeting and extraordinary general meeting? Okay, who is appropriate authority for calling for the meeting are board, and in some cases of EGM, they are AGM, sometimes the members will call. We will discuss in that particular provision in detail, but in general, who is responsible for giving the notice is board of directors. Okay, now before starting this, let me start with this concept of notice under 101 once again. Okay, notice means information or a knowledge of giving or having some information. The directors, before conducting either board meeting or general meeting, whoever is responsible for attending the meeting, they will share the information or knowledge for what purpose they are calling for the meeting and what are the aspects they are going to discuss in the meeting. Therefore, the notice is given by them and the time limit specified under the Companies Act. Companies Act చెప్పిన time limit ఏంటంటే అమ్మ నోటీస్ కనీసం ఇన్ని రోజుల ముందు మీటింగ్ కన్నా ఇన్ని రోజుల ముందు ఇవ్వాలి. The time limit specified by the Companies Act 2013 is 21 clear days before the meeting. Okay, so ఎన్ని రోజుల ముందు notice, I mean like ఇవ్వాలి అంటే 21 days, 21 clear days. Why are you should use the word clear days mandatorily. Clear days ఖచ్చితంగా యూజ్ చేయాలండి. 21 clear days ఉండాలని చెప్తున్నా. అర్థమవుతుందా? అంటే 21 clear days అంటే ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం మేడం అంటే the day of posting the notice, the day of meeting, the day of meeting are those 2 days you should not consider, and in between 2 days you will consider it for the purpose of travel of the notice through post. Okay, so madam, if we send the notice through electronic means, is it mandatory to follow 21 clear days? Yes, even in case of electronic mode of transfer of notice also 21 clear days is mandatory in either case. Okay, so the board of directors should ensure, should mandatorily see that they have 21 clear days gap between day of meeting and day of posting the notice and day of meeting. However, if they are less than 21 clear days, they should take the approval. In case of an AGM, they'll take the approval of the members either before the meeting or after the meeting, where in which not less than 95% of members present in the meeting should accept for it. This also I have discussed. This is called as short-term notice. Then only it would be valid. And the notice lo em information ఉంటుంది. Notice will specify the date, place, when the meeting is going to be conducted, where it is going to be conducted, what is the business to be transacted at the meeting, either special business or ordinary business. And the notice is sent to all the members of the company, whether he is an equity shareholder, preference shareholder, debenture holders, and to the auditors, trustees, legal representatives, official assignees వీళ్ళందరికీ కూడా notice పంపిస్తారు. However, if company by mistake accidentally omit giving the notice to specific persons, accidental గా వాళ్ళు మిస్ అయితే then it is valid. అలా కాకుండా ఇంటెన్షనల్ గా కావాలని స్పెసిఫిక్ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ మెంబర్స్ కి గానీ స్పెసిఫిక్ పర్సన్స్ గానీ నోటీస్ ఇవ్వకపోతే ఇట్ వుడ్ బి కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ ఇన్వాలిడ్ అంటున్నారండి. ఓకేనా? సో దిస్ ఇస్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ యువర్ notice under 101 of the Companies Act. And this 102, which is specifying about special business matters and ordinary business matter, I have a small explanation to it. Okay, as I have already told you, in the meeting, the company mandatorily would discuss in case of general meeting. General meeting means either in an AGM or an EGM. Company will mandatorily discuss ordinary business matters. In case of an AGM, ordinary business matters are compulsory. స్పెషల్ బిజినెస్ మ్యాటర్ ఉంటే డిస్కస్ చేస్తారు, లేకపోతే డిస్కస్ చేయరు. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? ఓకే, బట్ EGM is conducted only to discuss the special business matters. Okay, so here under section 102 of the Companies Act, it is mandatory for the board of directors to give explanatory statement along with the notice if there is any special business matter to be discussed in the meeting. Very, very important. ఏదైనా ఒక స్పెషల్ బిజినెస్ మ్యాటర్ డిస్కస్ చేయాలి అని కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు ముందుగా అనుకున్నట్లయితే board of directors should mandatorily give explanatory statement along with the notice attached to the notice in a separate document. They should give it beforehand along with the notice to all the shareholders for whom they are asking to attend the money. If the board of directors fails to do so, the notice becomes invalid under section 101 and the entire meeting would be invalid. So now tell me whether giving explanatory statement is mandatory or not under section 102. Therefore, in order if the special business matter is there, along with the notice under 101, explanatory statement under 102 is mandatory. Okay. So what are in case of ordinary business matter? For ordinary business, there is no need for the company need not give any explanatory statement. Madam, what is this explanatory statement? Explanatory statement is nothing but it would in detail explain what is that special business is for. A special business law decide చేయబోతున్నాం దానికి కావాల్సిన ఇన్పుట్స్ ఏంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏంటి అంతా డీటెయిల్డ్ గా ఈ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేటరీ స్టేట్మెంట్ లో మెన్షన్ చేస్తారండి బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్స్ అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా సో ఆల్ ది డీటెయిల్స్ ఆర్ స్పెసిఫికల్లీ మెన్షన్డ్ ఇన్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేటరీ స్టేట్మెంట్ okay so with this the notice under 101 and explanatory statement under 102 are completed. Then what are the 4 ordinary business matters which are mandatory to be discussed in the AGM are adoption of financial statements or annual accounts, declaration of dividend, appointment of auditors and fixing their remuneration, and appointment of directors. All these are important ordinary matters to be discussed. Okay, so the next important aspect is so 101 is over, 102 is over. Now quorum for general meeting. This is very, very important examination point of view. This provision is also very important. So we will discuss what is quorum. Quorum is nothing but minimum number of members who are required to be present at the general meeting personally before at least half an hour before starting of the meeting. So please again మళ్ళీ ఇంకోసారి చెప్తే జాగ్రత్తగా వినండి quorum అంటే ఆ వర్డ్ quorum అనేది ఎందుకు quorum is equal to minimum number of members అని అర్థం అండి quorum అంటే కనీసం మీటింగ్ స్టార్ట్ అయిన అరగంట లోపల ఒక అరగంట లోపల మీటింగ్ అరగంట లోపల కనీసం మినిమం ఇంతమంది మెంబర్స్ ఉంటేనే మీటింగ్ కంటిన్యూ చేయొచ్చు మీటింగ్ వ్యాలిడ్ అవుతుంది ఆ మినిమం ఎంతమంది ఉండాలి అనేది we will see the provision now. Understood? So, in order for a meeting to be valid, there should be the quorum present within half an hour from starting of the meeting. If the quorum is not present, then meeting would become invalid or meeting would be adjourned. Quorum లేకపోతే situation ఏమవుతుందమ్మా meeting would be adjourned and meeting would become invalid. Therefore, quorum is very, very essential. Quorum is very, very important. Understood? Okay. Therefore, quorum is the minimum number of members required to be present in the meeting for transacting any business at least half an hour from the meeting. Okay. Now, what are the minimum number, madam? What is the criteria for minimum number? In case of, please everyone take your pen and paper and note this particular point. In case of private company, minimum number of members are 2 members to be present personally or number specified in the articles of private company, whichever is higher you should consider. Understood? 2 members. Suppose if in articles they have specified 4. Therefore, what is the requirement of quorum in case of that particular private company is 4. Because 2 or 4, whichever is higher you will consider. Okay. So in case of private company, what is the minimum number of members? 2 members personally present or number specified in articles, whichever is higher. In case of public company, we have it is divided into 3 different categories. If public company are having number of members less than 1000 అయితే ఒక specific category. 1000 to 5000 కి మధ్యన ఒక specific category. More than 5000 అయితే ఒక specific category. Okay, understood? Now, in case of public company, if the number of members are less than 1000 and who are the minimum number of members, and 5 members should be present personally or members specified in the articles, whichever is higher. Prati provision key, we should compare with the number given in their articles, we should take whichever is higher. So please consider it as very, very important. Just don't go with this particular alone provision given by Companies Act. We should also at the same time compare with the number given in the articles. You should see both and you should take whichever is higher. Then only it is a valid provision for the quorum. If the number of members are between 1000 and 5000, then you should consider 15 members present personally or number specified in articles, whichever is higher. If the number of members are more than 5000 and maximum limit is no specific limit, more than 5000, then you should take 30 members present personally or numbers specified in the articles, whichever is higher. These 3 criteria are for a public limited company. Public limited company ki 3 criteria lo they will apply. Understood? These 3 criteria is applicable for a public limited company, and we have seen. And madam, all these members are to be present in person. Or proxies can also be counted for the purpose of quorum. Very, very important point. Proxy is not counted for the purpose of quorum. In the next provision, I will explain you in detail who is proxy. Are representatives counted for the purpose of quorum? Yes, representative is counted for the purpose of quorum. The word representative also I will explain you in the next provision. Proxy is not counted, representative is counted for the purpose of quorum. Please note it down, very, very important. When you are calculating the number of members in case of quorum, who is counted, who is not counted? Proxy is not considered and representative is considered. And in case of joint shareholders, we will consider them as one only. In case of joint shareholders, we will consider them as one only. Understood? Okay. So now next. Suppose, madam, suppose if the quorum is not present, then what is the situation, madam? If the quorum, the number of members could not come within the specified time. If the number of members could not come within half an hour, then what is the result, madam? In such cases, if the number of members could not come within the specified time, the meeting would be adjourned to the same place, same time in the next week. If the quorum is not present within half an hour from starting of the meeting would be adjourned to the same place, same time in the next week. Madam, even in the adjourned meeting also, if quorum is not there, then how? Again you will adjourn, madam. Again you will postpone the meeting. No, not at all. In case of an adjourned meeting, if there is no quorum, then what the Companies Act is saying is, whoever is present in the meeting, please pass on the resolution with the present number of members. ఎవరైతే మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళతో మీటింగ్ కండక్ట్ చేసేసి రిజల్యూషన్ పాస్ చేయండి అని చెప్తున్నారు. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? మామూలుగా ఏమంటున్నారు, quorum లేకపోతే మినిమం నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మెంబర్స్ ప్రెసెంట్ చేయకపోతే మీటింగ్ అడ్జర్న్ చేయండి అంటున్నారు. Even in the adjourned meeting also, if there is no quorum, what you have to do? They are asking them, please conduct the meeting, even though proxies are there, even though less number of members are there, please conduct the meeting and pass on the resolution. Don't try to postpone it number of times. Understood? This is what told by the Companies Act. Who told it? Companies Act has specified. Okay. These are the important. Now in this particular category, who are counted for quorum and who are not counted for quorum, I have told you, proxy is not counted, representatives are counted. Joint shareholders are considered as one. Okay. In following meetings, in certain case of meetings, even though without quorum, meeting are valid. What are those situations, madam? In the case of an AGM, when meeting is called by tribunal, when tribunal is calling the company to conduct AGM, even though minimum number of members are not present, with one member, the tribunal will pass the resolution and conduct the meeting. This point will be explained in detail in the concept of AGM. Once again, if the company fails to conduct, makes default in conducting the AGM, then the AGM will be called by tribunal. Tribunal will involve, court will involve, and ask the company, and the court itself will conduct the meeting. Even one member present in that meeting, it would be valid, even though there is no quorum. In the same way, it is even for EGM also. In the case of EGM also, if the company fails to conduct EGM, then if tribunal calls for the EGM, even one person present in person or proxy, the NCLT or the tribunal will pass the resolution and conduct the meeting. In the next case, when the company is having only 2 shareholders and most 90% of shares are held by one person only, if he is present in the meeting, the company can conduct the meeting and pass on the resolution. In all these cases, even though there is no quorum, meeting is valid. That is when even the single member will form a quorum and the meeting will become valid. Okay, only in these specific cases, but not in all the general cases. Okay, so please don't try to get confused. But is quorum under 103 essential or not for every AGM? Yes, it is very, very important, madam. For every general meeting, either it is AGM or EGM, quorum is mandatory. Understood? What is quorum? Is minimum number of members who are required to be present for the meeting at least within a period of half an hour from beginning of the meeting. If they are not present, meeting would become invalid and meeting would be adjourned. Okay. And what is the minimum number of members who are required? Is in case of private company, 2 members or numbers specified in articles, whichever is higher. In case of a public limited company, it is if number of members are less than 1,000, 5 or numbers specified in article, whichever is higher. If number of members are 1,000 to 5,000, 15 members or numbers specified in articles, whichever is higher. In case of number of members are more than 5,000, 30 members present in person or numbers specified in articles, whichever is higher. So this is a provisional category which is given by the companies. Okay. And when you are counting as minimum number of members, you will not consider proxy. You will consider representatives, and at the same time, joint shareholders are considered as one. In certain cases, even though a single person present, without quorum also the meeting is valid. We have seen again we'll discuss the same points at the AGM and EGM also. Okay. So with this, the concept of 103 also over. So 101 is a length of notice, and we'll discuss the provisions relating to the notice for the meeting. 102 is an explanatory statement. 103 is the quorum. 104 is chairman for the meeting. Before discussing the points relating to chairman, I want to discuss the provision this 105 first, then I want to go back to the chair. 105 proxies గురించి discuss చేసిన తర్వాత proxies గురించి explain చేసిన తర్వాత నేను I will discuss the concept of chairman under section 104. Okay. Who is proxy, madam? Proxy means he is a person. Okay. He is a natural person. He is not an artificial person. He is a kind of an agent. Proxy name he is a kind of an agent. He is a natural person. See, all the times it would be very impossible for the members to attend the meeting. The day of the meeting would not be sometimes convenient for all the members. They have to travel all the way and attend the meeting. But they want to vote. They also want to take part in the decision making. What is the decision making law? Decision making law participate cheyalante members అందరూ. కానీ ప్రతిసారి మీటింగ్ పెట్టినప్పుడల్లా మెంబర్స్ వెళ్ళి మీటింగ్ పర్సనల్ గా అటెండ్ అయ్యి మీటింగ్ లో ఓట్ చేయాలంటే చాలా కష్టంగా ఉంటుంది. Because వాళ్ళ పర్సనల్ dates and these dates of meeting would sometimes clash. In such cases, the Companies Act is giving some leverage. The Companies Act is giving some alternative for the members. Members don't get disheartened. Members, మీరందరూ కూడా మీరు ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ లో మీరు ఎవరు కూడా మీ అందరికీ కూడా ఒక మంచి అవకాశం ఇస్తాం. మీ అందరికీ కూడా ఒక మంచి ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ ఒక సజెషన్ ఒక ఆప్షన్ ఇస్తాం. You can use this option for the purpose of attending and voting the meeting. What is the option given to the members of the company? They can appoint proxy. Proxy is a kind of an agent. Generally, our true meaning lo prati okkaliki oka principal tarpuna agent ela pani chestadu business lo how an agent works on behalf of a principal. The proxy will go to the meeting, attend the meeting, and participate in the meeting on behalf of a member. Understood? So that is a general meaning of a proxy. And in this particular case, a proxy will act as an agent only for a natural person. Because proxy is also a natural person. Madam, a member can be, we have discussed in the initial classes, kada? Member can be either a natural person or an artificial person. A member can be a natural person or an artificial person. But the word proxy, the provision of proxy is applicable only, can be used only for a natural member, but not for an artificial member at all. In case of a body corporate or a company, is also a member of a another company, want to send somebody on its behalf to attend the meeting, that somebody is not called as proxy, is called as representative of that body corporate. Understood the term representative now? ఒక natural person తరపున ఒక వేరే ఒక natural person మీటింగ్ అటెండ్ అయ్యి ఆ మీటింగ్ లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసి ఓటింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ లో ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయితే ఆ పర్టికులర్ పర్సన్ ని ప్రాక్సీ అంటామండి. అలా కాకుండా ఒక బాడీ కార్పొరేట్ తరపున లేకపోతే ఒక కంపెనీ తరపున వేరే కంపెనీలో మీటింగ్ అటెండ్ అయ్యి ఓట్ చేయాల్సిన ఇండివిజువల్ ని ప్రాక్సీ అని పిలం. We will call him as a representative. The provisions of representative are separate from the provisions of proxies. Okay, the provisions of representatives are separate from the provisions of proxy. Understood now? Okay, hope you all understood. Now we are discussing the proxies. We are discussing the provision of proxy under 105. Therefore, this proxy is applicable only to a natural member. Okay. Therefore, who all can appoint proxies in case where a company is sending notice for annual general meeting. Okay, annual general meeting ki notice పంపిస్తున్నారు అనుకోండి. ఆ notice లో they'll specify that member can appoint a proxy. Member who is unable to attend the meeting and vote in the meeting can appoint a proxy. Okay, they will specifically mention in the notice. Therefore, this concept of proxy is always given in the notice. And then this proxy, in this particular case, the proxy need not be a member of a company. మీరు ఎవరినైతే ఒక మెంబర్ ఎవరైతే ప్రాక్సీని అపాయింట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారో he need not be a member at all. He can be any other normal person. He can be friend for a member or he can be some other normal person. He need not mandatorily be a member of the company. But here very, very important, please note down this important point. In case of Section 8 companies, Section 8 companies will allow their members, Section 8 companies will allow their members to appoint proxies only other members of the company. Okay, the member can be appointed as proxy in case of Section 8 company. Not a non-member cannot be appointed as a proxy only in Section 8 company. Please note down. In case this particular proxy need not be a member is a general rule which is given under Companies Act, but except in case of Section 8 companies. For Section 8 companies, only members are allowed to act as a proxy for another member who is unable to attend the meeting. However, proxy, if he attends the meeting, what are the limitations for proxy, madam? He cannot speak in the meeting. He cannot vote by show of hands. He can vote only by poll. He is not counted in quorum. Okay, and he cannot take part in the decision making of the meeting, discussions of the meeting. These are few limitations for a proxy. What are the limitations for a proxy? A proxy have no right to speak in the meeting. He cannot vote except by show of hands. He is not counted for the purpose of quorum, and he cannot take part in the discussion. These are the few limitations for a proxy. Okay, and here a member who want to appoint a proxy should file a specific form. Okay, which is given under the Companies Act, or the form which is given by the company. And he should fill the form and submit it to the company at least 48 hours before the meeting. Very, very important point. Please keep in mind. Okay. సో ఏ మెంబర్ అయితే మీటింగ్ అటెండ్ అవ్వలేను అనుకుంటాడు అమ్మా, అతను ముందుగానే తన తరపున వేరే ఏ ఇండివిజువల్ అయినా ప్రాక్సీగా పంపించాలనుకుంటే he should fill the form, proxy form, which is given under Companies Act, that is MGT 11. MGT 11 అన్న ప్రాక్సీ ఫామ్ ని ఫిల్ చేసి, లేదా form which is specifically given by the articles of the company, ఆ ఫామ్ అయినా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు, any form. There is no hard and fast rule that he have to use only the form given by the company. And he should submit this form to the company at least 48 hours before the meeting. Minimum 48 hours mundu ivvala. Okay, and Sundays are also included in this particular 48 hour schedule. However, companies cannot insist on members. Members మీద కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు ఎటువంటి ఫోర్స్ తీసుకురాకూడదు. That the company should, that the members should deposit the proxy form 72 hours before the meeting or 52 hours before the meeting. They cannot increase the length of hours. If the member comes voluntarily and deposit at least 2 days or 3 days, 3 days or 4 days before the meeting, it is well and good. Member అన్నవాడే ముందుగా వచ్చి డిపాజిట్ చేసేసంటే ప్రాబ్లమే లేదు. అలా కాకుండా కంపెనీస్ ఆర్టికల్స్ లో కంపెనీ స్పెసిఫిక్ గా 72 అవర్స్ ఉండాలి, 52 అవర్స్ ఉండాలి, more than 48 hours ఫిక్స్ చేస్తే such provision is void ab initio, it is an ultra void and it is going beyond the provisions of Companies Act. And in such cases, members can file against the company in the court of law. Okay now, and this particular proxy form should be filled by the member and signed by him, or the power of attorney for whom he have given the power of attorney, that particular person can also fill and sign. In case of joint shareholders, this proxy form will be signed by the senior shareholder, whose name is mentioned first in the as a joint shareholder. Understood? Okay, so ee particular proxy forms is company వాళ్ళకి deposit చేసి, once all these initial formalities are over, proxy can attend the meeting. And one person can act, this is a new provision of Companies Act 2013. What is the new provision is, one person can act as a proxy for not more than 50 members. So one person can act as a proxy to maximum 50 members. One person can act as a proxy to up to 50 members. Understood? However, the 50 members of their shareholding should not exceed 10% of the share capital of the company. This particular point is very important. One person can act as a proxy to maximum 50 members under bond. If 50 members low, వీళ్ళ యొక్క టోటల్ షేర్ హోల్డింగ్ కంపెనీ యొక్క షేర్ క్యాపిటల్ కంపేర్ చేస్తే 10% కన్నా ఎక్కువ ఉండకూడదు. ఉన్నట్లయితే ఈ షుడ్ రెడ్యూస్ యాక్టింగ్ యాజ్ ఎ ప్రాక్సీ ఫర్ దోస్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మెంబర్స్. సపోజ్ if 2 members if themselves are holding more than 50 shareholding ankundama, okay, then he can act only for those 2 members. No, if one person himself is having 12% of total share capital, 10% ఒక్క person కి ఉంది అనుకుందామా, then he can act as a proxy only for that particular one person. Okay, so it's a very important rule which is given under Companies Act 2013. One person can act as a proxy to a maximum of 50 members. However, the shareholding should not exceed 10% of the share capital of the company. If one person alone holds that particular share capital, the one proxy can act as a proxy for only for that particular member. Okay, this is an important. So, once a member, after appointing a proxy, can he go and attend the meeting, madam? Yes, he can go. After appointing a proxy, he can go and attend the meeting. Okay. Suppose, after appointing a proxy, before proxy votes, member comes and attend the meeting. Then proxy automatically get cancelled, revoked. Then member's vote would be considered. By the time member reaches the premises where the meeting is being conducted, proxy have already voted. Then proxy's vote only would be considered. Listen carefully these points. Okay. Even after appointing a proxy, can a member attend the meeting, madam? Yes, he can attend. By the time he attended, if proxy already voted, proxy's vote would be considered by the chairman. By the time he attends the meeting, if proxy did not vote, proxy vote cheyale. In such case, members' vote would be considered. Understood? These are two important points. Madam, for suppose if a member before 72 hours he appointed one proxy, and before 48 hours he appointed another proxy, which proxy would be considered by the chairman? The latest proxy, the new proxy would be considered by the chairman if it is before the stipulated time given under the company. Okay. However, if the second proxy appointed by the member is not satisfying the criteria of 48 hours before the meeting, then the chairman will not consider that particular proxy. Okay. The first initial proxy who is appointed in time would only be considered. These are very, 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 very important points. And these points will be asked as a practical question in your examination. Once again, I'm explaining, please listen. Okay. Even after appointing a proxy, member can attend the meeting. Yes, it is possible. By the time member attends the meeting, if proxy have already voted, proxy vote is considered by the chairman. By the time member attends the meeting, if proxy did not vote, then member's vote will be considered. Understood? Okay. And if the member have appointed two proxies, the second proxy who is latest a new appointee, if it is satisfying the criteria of 48 hours before the meeting, that would be considered. Okay, the new proxy who is appointed 48 hours before the meeting would be considered. If the new proxy could not satisfy the specific time period of 48 hours, okay, then the initial proxy only would be considered. These are the important points relating to revocation of proxies. Now see how many sub-points are there in proxies. Who is proxy? And where they would be, his intimation is given in the notice of general meeting. What are the limitations for proxy? When we should deposit this proxy form? What are the requirements for the instrument? What is for revocation of proxies? Next, inspection of list of proxies. If a member want to inspect the proxy form list, if the member want to inspect the instrument of proxy, he can do only after giving prior notice of 3 days before the meeting. He cannot directly go to the company and inspect the proxy form. Proxy form ni directly inspect cheyadaki kudaradu. At least 3 days prior notice istene company valaki, then company will allow the member to inspect the proxy form for at least 24 hours before the meeting till the end of the meeting. Ante 3 days mundu notice iవ్వాలి. ఇచ్చిన తరువాత కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు అలౌ చేస్తారంట 24 hours బిఫోర్ ది మీటింగ్. తర్వాత మీటింగ్ కంప్లీట్ అయ్యేంత వరకు ఈ టైంలో మీరు ఎప్పుడు కావాలంటే అప్పుడు ఆ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాక్సీ ఫామ్ ని మీరు ఇన్స్పెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని అలౌ చేస్తారు. అండర్స్టూడ్? Understood? These are very, very important points relating to proxies. Okay, the proxy form can be inspected by the member only after giving prior notice 3 days before the meeting. Then only company will allow the member to inspect the proxy at least 24 hours before the meeting till the end of the meeting. So these all are important forms relating to proxy, points relating to proxy. So once again, let me briefly tell you the important points of proxy. Very, very important section. 105 proxy, which would be asked in the examination. Either for practical question or for a theoretical question. Okay, they would ask either in form of provisions or in form of a practical question. Okay, so please listen. Number 1. Is the proxy a natural person or not, madam? Yes, the proxy is a natural person. He can act as a proxy only for a natural member. He can act as a proxy only for a natural member. However, if the company is having an artificial member or a legal member, for them, representatives are appointed. Proxies are not appointed. For them, who is appointed? Representatives are appointed. A one person can act as a proxy for a maximum of 50 members. However, the 50-member shareholding should not exceed. One person can act as a proxy for 50 members. The 50-member shareholding cannot exceed 10% of the share capital of the company. Understood? And the proxy form, before appointing a proxy, the member should file the proxy form. He can take any of the proxy form. The proxy form given under Companies Act, that is MGT 11 form, or the form which is given mentioned in the articles of the company. He can use any of the form. The company cannot ask the member to use only the form which is given by the company. Okay, they will fill the form, and this particular form should be submitted to the company. Member will fill either on his own or by appointment of power of attorney, and the member has to sign and give it to the company at least 48 hours before the meeting. Company cannot fix any longer period in this particular case. Company cannot fix a longer period in this particular case. Understood? Okay, so this is a very important point. And the limitations of proxies are, they cannot speak in the meeting, they cannot vote by show of hands. Okay. And they cannot discuss in the meetings, and they are not counted for the purpose of quorum. These are the limitations of proxies. Okay, proxy can vote only by poll. Proxy can demand for the poll, and he can vote only by poll. Members can request the company. Members can request the company for inspection of proxy forms. However, before inspection, the member is required to give at least 3 days prior notice to the company, so that the company will allow the member to inspect from 24 hours before the meeting till the end of the meeting. Okay, so these are the very, very important points relating to the proxy. Please read this particular provision. Important under 105. Okay, before we miss another important point regarding under section 104, chairman for the meeting. Very, very important. This one also, please everyone, let us see this particular aspect of 104, the chairman for the meeting. So 101 notice, 102 explanatory statement, 103 quorum we have seen, 105 proxy is also over, and 104 the chairman we are seeing this particular important point. Okay, chairman of the meeting. Who is chairman for the meeting? The individual or the person who conducts the meeting is called as a chairman. Who is called as a chairman? Chairman is a person who conducts the meeting is called as a chairman. Okay. The meeting is conducted in number of ways. Either board meeting gaani, general meeting gaani, enno rakala paddhathilo chairman conduct change. Meeting can be conducted. The voting process can take place by show of hands. Voting show of hands ద్వారా జరుగుతుంది. లేదా పోల్ ద్వారా ఓటింగ్ జరుగుతుంది, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ మీన్స్ ద్వారా ఓటింగ్ జరుగుతుంది, పోస్టల్ బ్యాలెట్ ద్వారా ఓటింగ్ జరుగుతుంది. సో చైర్మన్ ఇస్ మ్యాండేటరీ ఫర్ ద మీటింగ్, ఫర్ కండక్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద మీటింగ్. దెన్ మేడం, హూ విల్ యాక్ట్ యాజ్ ఎ చైర్మన్? జనరల్ గా వాట్ దే సేస్ ఈస్ హూఎవర్ ఈస్ అపాయింటెడ్ యాజ్ ఎ చైర్మన్ ఫర్ బోర్డ్ మీటింగ్. బోర్డ్ మీటింగ్ లో ఎవరైతే చైర్మన్ గా ఉంటాడో, the same person can also act as a chairman for the general meeting of that company in that year. ఆ సంవత్సరం ఎవరైతే చైర్మన్ బోర్డ్ మీటింగ్ లో చైర్మన్ గా యాక్ట్ చేస్తారో, అండ్ రెగ్యులేషన్ 45 ఆఫ్ టేబుల్ ఎఫ్ క్లియర్లీ స్పెసిఫైస్ దట్, ఆర్టికల్స్ లో ఉన్న ప్రొవిజన్ అమ్మా, టేబుల్ ఎఫ్ రెగ్యులేషన్ 45 లో ఉన్న ప్రొవిజన్ ఇది. ఎవరైతే బోర్డ్ మీటింగ్ కి చైర్మన్ గా యాక్ట్ చేస్తాడో, the same person can continue as a chairman even for the general meeting also. Understood? కానీ చైర్మన్ గా అతని మీద ఎటువంటి కోయెషన్ అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఉండకూడదు. He can voluntarily act as a chairman. And madam, for suppose if that particular person is appointed, who is continuing as a chairman for general meeting, if he did not present to the meeting within a period of 15 minutes of his appointment, or he is expressing his unwillingness to act as a chairman, he does not want to act as a chairman, then what is another option available to the company? అటువంటి సందర్భాలలో what regulation 46 of table F says that in that particular case, the directors who are present in that particular general meeting, among them one can act as a chairman. Understood? If the chairman of board meeting does not want to continue as a chairman for general meeting, in such cases, the directors, whoever present in the general meeting among themselves, they can elect one person as a chairman for the meeting. Understood? If this option is also not available, if this option is also written off, it is next in regulation 47 of table F, there is another option also available. What it says? If at the meeting, even the directors are not at all willing to act as a chairman for the company, for the general meeting, for that general meeting, directors are not at all willing to continue as a chairman, then you will stop conducting general meeting. You will not proceed in conducting general meeting. No, not at all. In that particular case, the members will elect among themselves one person to act as a chairman for the meeting. In that particular case, members among themselves will elect one person to act as a chairman for the meeting. Understood? Understood the difference? Okay. Generally, for every company, the person who is elected as a chairman for board meeting will continue as a chairman for the general meeting also. If that is not possible, then the directors who are present in that particular general meeting, among themselves, one person will be elected to act as a chairman. If that is also not possible, then the members, whoever present in the meeting, will elect themselves among one person to act as a chairman for the meeting. What is the main role of the chairman? Is chairman should orderly conduct the meeting, and once the meeting is completed, within 30 days, he should specify all the details of the meeting in a specific book called as minutes book and sign that minutes book. This is a major responsibility of a chairman. What is the major responsibility of a chairman? He should properly conduct the meeting and see that meeting has been properly taken the decision, and all the details have to be specified within 30 days in a separate book which is called as minutes book, and it should be signed by the chairman. This is a major duty of the chairman. However, in some cases, chairman will adjourn the meeting. What are the reasons for chairman adjourning the meeting, madam? Why the chairman want to postpone the meeting? Means there are three important reasons, very important reasons which is asked in the examination. The three important reasons where the chairman adjourns the meeting are: number one, when members disorderly behave in the meeting. When the chairman is unable to control the members, all the members are fighting in the meeting. Members అందరూ కూడా fight చేసుకున్నారు, control చేయలేకపోతారు in that particular aspect. When the quorum is not present in the meeting within a period of 30 hours from starting of the meeting, quorum లేకపోతే, or on the request of the members, chairman will adjourn the meeting. ఈ కారణం కాకుండా voluntarily chairman cannot take any decision of adjournment of the meeting. Chairman can take an option of adjournment of the meeting only in these three cases. Number one, when there is no quorum. Number two, when members disorderly behave. Number three, on the request of the members, chairman, or on demand made by the members, the chairman will adjourn the meeting. Okay. And here, very, very important one advantage is given to the chairman. What is this advantage? Chairman will enjoy the casting vote. Madam, what is this casting vote? Please everyone note down, casting vote is an extra vote given to chairman. Since he's chairman, no, he's occupying very important position for the meeting. No. So for him, an additional vote or an extra vote given by the Companies Act, which is called as casting vote. Understood? What is casting vote? Is an additional or an extra vote given by the Companies Act to the chairman only in case of ordinary resolutions. Very, very important examination bit. Please note down. What is casting vote? Casting vote is an additional vote given to the chairman only in case of ordinary resolutions. When the equality of votes, as you all know, in case of ordinary resolutions, the votes cast in favor should be more than 50% in the votes cast against. అంటే 50% కన్నా ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి ఖచ్చితంగా ఓట్స్ క్యాస్ట్ ఇన్ ఫేవర్. సపోజ్ ఈక్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఓట్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, అంటే ఇన్ ఫేవర్ గా అగేన్స్ట్ గా 50-50 వచ్చినప్పుడు, అటువంటిప్పుడు ఏ డెసిషన్ తీసుకోవాలో తెలియదు కదా చైర్మన్ కి. అప్పుడు చైర్మన్ కి ఎడిషనల్ ఓట్ వస్తుంది, దాని కాస్టింగ్ ఓట్ అంటారు. ఓన్లీ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్డినరీ రిజల్యూషన్స్ మాత్రమే. స్పెషల్ రిజల్యూషన్ కి యూటిలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ కాస్టింగ్ ఓట్ అనేది ఉండదు. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? So these are very, very important points relating to the chairman under 104 of the Companies Act. Okay, so who is a chairman? What are his duties? When can he adjourn the meeting? In what way he is being appointed? And what is the casting vote for the chairman? So these are important. See, in this particular topic of general meeting, we are seeing so many important provisions. First one, we already seen length of notice under 101. Second one, we covered explanatory statement under 102. Next, we discussed 103 quorum. A tarvata 104 chairman, 105 proxy. At the same time, when I'm discussing this concept of proxy, I have already explained you the point of representatives. Representatives are also individuals who are appointed on behalf of the body, corporates, companies, or some VVIPs like the chief ministers, whoever want to act as a shareholder of a company. అటువంటి వాళ్ళ తరపున వాళ్ళు అపాయింట్ చేసుకోవాలి, బికాస్ దే కాంట్ అటెండ్ ది మీటింగ్ కదా. ద ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ ఆర్ ద చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్ ఆర్ ఎనీ అదర్ మినిస్టర్స్ కెనాట్ అటెండ్ ది యాన్యువల్ జనరల్ మీటింగ్, ఆర్ ద సెలబ్రిటీస్ కెనాట్ అటెండ్ కదా. వాళ్ళ తరపున అపాయింట్ చేసుకునే ఇండివిజువల్స్ ని ప్రాక్సీ అనకూడదు, రిప్రజెంటేటివ్స్ అంటారు. వివిఐపీస్ తరపున అపాయింట్ చేసుకునే పర్సన్స్ ని మీటింగ్ అటెండ్ అవ్వడానికి, ఓటింగ్ చేయడానికి అపాయింట్ చేసుకునే పర్సన్స్ ని రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ అంటారు. కంపెనీ తరపున అపాయింట్ చేసుకునే ఇండివిజువల్ ని రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ అంటారు. గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్నాం, ఓకేనా? సో ఇక్కడతో ద బేసిక్ ఇనిషియల్ పాయింట్స్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీస్ యాక్ట్ అయిపోయింది. నౌ మెంబర్స్ మీటింగ్ దగ్గరకు వద్దాము. యాన్యువల్ జనరల్ మీటింగ్ విచ్ ఇస్ వెరీ, వెరీ, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండర్ సెక్షన్ 96 of the Companies Act. Next we are going to discuss an important provision which is called as annual general meeting. A lengthy provision but very easy. You can also write running notes or you can just follow whatever I am telling. Okay, so please listen whatever I am saying. Please try to listen. Annual, the word itself annual, అంటే annual అన్న పదంలోనే we can determine, we can say that this meeting should be conducted every year annually by the company. Mandatory గా ప్రతి సంవత్సరము షేర్ హోల్డర్స్ మీటింగ్ కండక్ట్ చేసుకునే దాన్ని యాన్యువల్ జనరల్ మీటింగ్ అంటారు. Every year annually conducted by the company is called as annual general meeting. Under the provisions of Companies Act, it is mandatory for all the companies to conduct AGM except for OPC. Everybody mandatory examination bit, please underline. Annual general meeting under section 96 is important for all types of companies except OPC, that is 1% company తప్ప అన్ని కంపెనీస్ కి mandatory. Okay, and no company can take an excuse of conducting annual general meeting. What is it, madam? It is discussed in the famous case law, but I will give you the important content of those case laws. ఏ కంపెనీ అయినా సరే మేము ఈ సంవత్సరం ప్రాఫిట్స్ చేయలేదండి, we are in losses, they cannot give this as an excuse for not conducting an annual general meeting. Whether they have profit or not, whether they are suffering losses, whether they are doing business or not, mandatorily it is a responsibility of the board of directors to conduct annual general meeting. Annual general meeting conduct చేయాల్సిన రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ కంపల్సరీగా బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్స్ మీద ఉంటుందమ్మా. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఓకే, సో దే కెనాట్ టేక్ ఎనీ ఎక్స్క్యూజ్. who is a proper authority for calling AGM? ఎవరు రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఫర్ కండక్టింగ్ ద AGM అంటే the board of directors are responsible for conducting the AGM. Who is responsible for conducting the AGM? Board of directors are responsible for conducting the AGM. This annual general meeting, madam, where the company will conduct annual general meetings, as I have already mentioned, you ముందుగానే చెప్పాను, all the meetings of the company are conducted at the registered office of the company. The annual general meeting should be conducted at the registered office of the company. That's the head office of the company. Suppose if you registered office report, because there are so many shareholders for the company, then where the company have to conduct its annual general meeting, madam? The annual general meeting will be conducted by the company either at the registered office or at any other place of the company situated. అంటే రిజిస్టర్డ్ ఆఫీస్ ఉన్న లొకాలిటీ ఉన్న ఊర్లోనే వేరే ఏదైనా ఫంక్షన్ హాల్ కానీ లేదా వేరే ఏదైనా గ్రౌండ్స్ కానీ హైర్ తీసుకొని యాన్యువల్ జనరల్ మీటింగ్ ని కండక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అర్థమైందా? ఓకేనా? రిజిస్టర్డ్ ఆఫీస్ లో ప్లేస్ సరిపోట్లే. సో రిజిస్టర్డ్ ఆఫీస్ ఏ ప్రాంతంలో ఉందో ఏ ఊర్లో ఉందో అదే ఊర్లో ఉన్న ఏదైనా ఫంక్షన్ హాల్ కానీ లేదా గ్రౌండ్స్ కానీ తీసుకొని పెద్దగా మీటింగ్ కండక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. And this annual general meeting should be conducted only on working days but not on public holidays. Annual general meeting cannot be conducted on any national holidays or public holidays. Sundays kuda conduct cheyakodu. August 15, January 26, public holidays unte appudu annual general meeting conduct cheyakodu. An annual general meeting should be conducted only during business hours, that is from morning 9 AM to evening 6 PM kala meeting complete అయిపోవాలి. అంతేగాని మేము నైట్ కండక్ట్ చేసుకుంటామండి, ఎర్లీ మార్నింగ్ మీటింగ్ కండక్ట్ చేసుకుంటామండి అంటే కుదరదు. It is not possible. You cannot conduct the meeting during night hours or you cannot conduct the meeting during early morning hours whenever you wanted to conduct. Okay, so these three are very important points. Annual general meeting should be conducted either in the registered office or any place where the registered office of the company is situated. Number 2, annual general meeting should be conducted only during business hours. Number 3, annual general meeting should be conducted only during working days but not on public holidays. Okay, these 3 points are very important. Okay, now annual general meetings, what are the important matters which are discussed in the annual general meetings means the business transacted in the annual general meetings is categorized into 2 parts. Number 1, ordinary business matters, special business matters. Ordinary business matters, already I have told you the 4 important ordinary business matters are: number 1, adoption of financial statements; number 2, declaration of dividends; number 3, appointment of auditors and fixing their remuneration; number 4, appointment of directors and fixing their remuneration. These are 4 important ordinary business matters which are necessary to be discussed at AGM. And special business matters, other than these, all are special business matters. Special business matters unte discuss cheyandi, lekapothe avasaram ledu. Understood? This is very, very important for an AGM. Okay. Now, special business matter undi kabatti unnatlaite it is mandatory for the board of directors to give explanatory statement along with notice or not? Yes, it is mandatory, madam. The company have to submit a explanatory statement. The directors have to submit an explanatory statement along with the notice. Only when the special business matter unnatlaitene. Understood? Okay. So these are few important points. And what is the time limit for conducting an AGM? Very, very important legal provision. First AGM should be conducted within 9 months from the end of the financial year. So first AGM ఎంత టైం లోపల కండక్ట్ చేయాలి? Within 9 months from the end of the financial year. Very important. Financial year complete అయిన 9 months లోపల చేయాలి. అంటే year of incorporation అవసరం లేదు, 9 months after financial year is important. However, there is no extension of time limit. ROC cannot allow you, cannot excuse you for extending the time limit for conducting first AGM. There is no possibility of extension of time limit in case of an AGM. In for subsequent AGMs, very important. We have to consider the least of the 3. 3 dates calculate cheyali. Andro least date ni manam consider cheyali for subsequent AGMs. First AGM kaithe manaki clarity vachesindamma. The first AGM should be conducted within 9 months from the end of the financial year. However, there is no extension by ROC. Subsequent AGMs matuku, subsequent AGMs ki earlier of the 3 days ni 3 due dates calculate chestam. అందులో earlier date ni మనం consider chestam. Okay, subsequent matuku 3 days calculate chestam. అందులో earlier date ni మనం consider chestam. Okay, so what is the earlier date, madam? What is the earlier due date? Okay, 3 days we have to calculate. What are those 3 days? AGM should be held within 6 months from the end of the financial year. AGM should be held within 6 months from the end of the financial year. Or the gap between from the previous AGM should not be more than 15 months. Or the gap between from the previous AGM should not be more than 15 months. Or see that AGM is conducted by the end of the calendar year, that is by 31st December. At least one AGM by the end of the calendar year, that is 31st December. 3 due dates will calculate. One is 6 months from the date of the financial year. Second one is the gap from the previous AGM should not be more than 15 months. The third one is by the end of the calendar year, that is 31st December, one AGM. In 3 days to earlier date, మనం consider చేస్తాం. దాన్ని due date for the subsequent AGM గా consider చేస్తాం. You take that earlier date as a due date for the subsequent AGM. However, suppose if you want to have an extension of that subsequent date, if you want to take an extension for that, you can take it with the help of it by taking the permission of ROC. ROC will allow the company to extend the time limit for subsequent AGMs. Subsequent AGM కోసము ROC time limit ni extend చేస్తారు. Okay, this is very, very, very important provision regarding the time limit for holding an AGM. Therefore, the first AGM cannot be extended by ROC. The subsequent AGM's due date can be extended by ROC if you take a prior approval from ROC. How many months you can extend, madam? You can extend to an extent of 3 months. Okay, so we have already told you the time of AGM. The AGM should be conducted during business hours, that is 9 AM to 6 PM. In case of an day, it cannot be a public holiday. It cannot be a national holiday. And it can be conducted either at registered office or any other place. Or any other place where the registered office of the company is situated. And it is mandatory for the company to give all these ordinary business matters to be discussed in the AGM. However, if the company accounts are not ready, are not audited on the day of AGM. AGM రోజు మన company books of accounts audit అవ్వలేదు, completion పూర్తి అవ్వలేదు. Then will you stop conducting AGM? Then can you stop conducting AGM means the Companies Act says that please don't stop conducting the AGM. You conduct the AGM. You don't discuss that particular point. ఆ point మటుకు మీరు డిస్కస్ చేయొద్దు. మీటింగ్ కంటిన్యూ చేసేసేయండి. Only for that exclusive point you can adjourn the meeting. Very important. Please note down as an examination bit. Okay. Here, what the Companies Act is saying is, if on the day of AGM, if companies' accounts are not audited or not completed, you cannot show them to the shareholders. You cannot show them to the shareholders if the audit is not completed for the books of accounts. Unaudited books, very, very important examination bit. Unaudited books of accounts cannot be laid in the AGM. Other 3 business matters are there. No, please discuss. If you have any special business matter, that too you discuss. Only for the adoption of books of accounts, you can adjourn the AGM. And it is mandatory for all the companies to prepare a report for AGM under 1 or 2 of the Companies Act. Once the AGM is completed, the directors have to prepare a report on AGM under section 121. Directors have to prepare a report under 121 and file in prescribed form number MGT15 within 30 days of conclusion of meeting to ROC. Okay, so oka copy report ni prepare chesi MGT15 form lo report ni prepare chesi ROC ki file cheyalandi. Okay, only then the meeting would be valid. If company did not ఏదో ఒక ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ చెప్తూ కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు AGM కండక్ట్ చేయకపోయినా, the company could not conduct AGM by giving some excuses, then on the request made by any member or an application made by any member or tribunal by its own will call for the AGM. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తుందంటే NCLT రంగంలోకి వస్తుంది. Then tribunal by its own or on request of any member will call for the AGM. Even one member present in the meeting also it is valid. We have discussed this point in the quorum. In case of an AGM, if company fails to conduct an annual general meeting on the request or an application made by any member or by the tribunal itself will call for AGM. Even one person present in person or by proxy, the meeting would be valid. Then NCLT will pass a resolution and conduct the AGM. And company and its officers are liable for the default because of failure of not conducting the AGM. Okay. Here are the case laws. In the case laws, I have already told you as a point. No company is excused for not conducting AGM, even though they are not doing business properly, even though they are not getting losses, still they have to conduct AGM and file a copy of AGM to RBC. If the books of accounts are not ready, they cannot take it as an excuse for not conducting the AGM. The points which I have told you are given in these cases. If the books of accounts are not ready, they cannot take this particular thing as an excuse for not conducting a AGM. They have to conduct the AGM and discuss the rest of the matters. And for the sake of books of accounts, they can postpone or adjourn the AGM. Understood? These are very, very important points for conducting an AGM. What is annual general meeting? Which company is only excluded other than OPC? OPC did not conduct annual general meeting. Okay, every year it is mandatory. The directors, board of directors will call for AGM by giving a notice under 101 of the Companies Act. And what are the ordinary business matters discussed in the AGM? Okay, what's the time limit for conducting the AGM? And at what place, what day, what time the meeting is conducted? We have discussed all these points. Okay. And when the report, in what form they have to submit it to ROC once the AGM is completed. If the company fails or does any default in conducting the AGM, then who will call for the AGM? The tribunal will call for the AGM. We have discussed already this point also. And few case laws. Okay. So with this, AGM under section 96 is over. Very, very important. Examination bit and practical question can come off from the annual general meeting. Understood? So annual general meeting is mandatory or not? Yes. Every year it is mandatory for the company to conduct annual general meeting? Yes. So with this we have seen so many important provisions under Companies Act. We have seen section 101 notice, section 102 explanatory statement, section 103 quorum, 104 chairman, 105 proxy, and we have seen now section 96. Next, extraordinary general meeting is also very, very important concept in general meetings topic. So once we will try to complete this particular provision under section 98 to 100, extraordinary general meeting, which is very, very important. There are only two types of general meetings for the shareholders of the company. One is annual general meeting and another one is extraordinary general meeting. Extraordinary general meeting is discussed under section 98 to 100 of the Companies Act. If company could not wait for next annual general meeting, they want to take a decision urgently on some important matter or for a special business matter, they can't wait till next annual general meeting. They want to take the decision immediately. In that case, they will conduct EGM and call and take the decision. Therefore, EGM is conducted only to discuss special business matters. Understood now? EGM is conducted only to discuss special business matters. There is no ordinary business matter discussed in the EGM. If company cannot wait till next AGM, there is some urgent matter to be discussed, then the board of directors will call for the EGM, conduct EGM and pass the resolution. Since they are passing special resolution, it is mandatory for the board of directors to give explanatory statement along with the notice. So, notice to part of explanatory statement ఇవ్వాల్సిన రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ కంపల్సరీగా ఉంటుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? And this EGM is conducted in 4 types. The 4 ways of conducting EGM are: number 1, the board of directors will call for the EGM. Number 2, board will call for EGM on the request of members. Number 3, the meeting is conducted by the requisitioners, that is members themselves, whoever had made a request. Number 4, the meeting is called by the tribunal. There are 4 ways of conducting EGM. Number 1, the board of directors will call for the EGM in order to pass some urgent business, special business matter and take the decision. How they do EGM, they will do in the same way, but they will pass here a special resolution. Therefore, mandatory to give an explanatory statement along with the notice. Number 2, board will conduct call for the meeting on the request made by the members. Number 3, the members themselves will conduct the meeting. Number 4, meeting is conducted by the tribunal. There's 4 categories. Before discussing these 4 categories, let me explain the requisite number of members. What is meant by requisition? On the request of. Okay. In some cases, certain number of members will request the board. Certain number of members will request the board. Please conduct the EGM in order to take the decision for urgent matter. How many members will request the board? Means if the Companies Act is saying at least members holding not less than 1/10 of the share capital. If the company is having share capital, or if members holding 1/10 of the voting power, if company is not having a voting power. This particular category of members only request, then board of directors will call for EGM. Okay, what is the category? What is the provision for this? In case of company having share capital, members holding 1/10 of the paid up share capital. If the company is not having share capital, members holding 1/10 of the voting power should make a requisition to the company. They should take one form, write specifically in detail why they want to conduct this EGM and why they want to pass this particular resolution, for what purpose this meeting is being conducted. And all these requisitions, whoever are necessary, should sign this particular letter. This is called as a request letter, and give it in the submit it in the registered office of the company. Where they have to submit it? Registered office of the company. Once after this is submitted, as it is requested by the members, the board will look into this particular matter. Board will verify, and if they feel that the request made by the members is genuine, they should conduct the meeting. They should call for the meeting. They should give the notice within 21 days. And they should conduct the meeting within 45 days from the date of deposit of requisite letter in the registered office of the company. Very, very important. This is the second one. In case when the EGM is called, when the EGM is requested by the members, the board of directors should conduct EGM within 45 days from the date of submission of the request letter at the registered office. Okay, they should conduct and they should pass the resolution. They should pass the special resolution. And here one more point, please listen. And along with the notice, since it is special business matter, is a even though it is requested by the members of the meeting, it is a responsibility of the board of directors to give the explanatory statement. Whose responsibility to give the explanatory statement? Is the responsibility of the board of directors to give the explanatory statement. Understood? Okay, this is the second category. So first one is board of directors. Second one is by the requisitionist calling for the meeting. Okay. Next. Third case. EGM is called and conducted by requisitionists themselves. EGM is called and conducted by the requisitionists themselves. Even after asking the board of directors conduct the meeting, board of directors fails to conduct the meeting. Then the requisite member, whoever have requested, I told no members who have requested the company to conduct the meeting, those specific members, they are nothing but 1/10 of the total share capital holding. So those members, what they can do, they can conduct the EGM. They will call for the meeting and they'll conduct the meeting. They should conduct the meeting within 3 months from the day of depositing the request letter at the register of. Within how much time they should conduct? Within a period of 3 months. And whatever expenditure incurred by these members should be reimbursed by the company later. In the third case, when the members wanted to call for when the requisite members wanted to conduct the meeting, if board failed, third case, what the members themselves will conduct the meeting. In that particular case, they should conduct within 3 months from the end of the day on which the letter is deposited at the registered office by these members. And in this particular case, if the quorum could not be present within a period of half an hour, the meeting is cancelled. There is no adjournment. Very important point examination. In this only third category of EGM, when the EGM is conducted by members themselves, if quorum is not present within half an hour, there is no option of adjournment. The meeting is dissolved or cancelled. Please note down this point information. Very, very important. What would happen? The meeting would be dissolved. And whatever the expenditure incurred for conducting the meeting by the requisitionist later on will be reimbursed by the directors of the company. So, number one, board will call for EGM. And board by themselves will call for the EGM. Number two, board will call for the EGM on the request made by the requisitionist. Number three, if board failed to conduct the meeting, the requisitionist will themselves call for the meeting. And fourth one, if all these above three possibilities could not happen, if all three above alternatives could not happen, then tribunal will call for the meeting. Tribunal, if company fails to conduct the EGM, even after number of reminders set by the requisitionist, then on the any application made by a member or the requisitionist or by the tribunal on its own, tribunal will call for the EGM. Even one member present in person or proxy, it is valid, then the meeting would become valid. That's it. Understood? Very, very important. Okay. These are the four ways of calling for an EGM. However, what is difference between AGM and EGM? I will tell you clearly this difference. Please note down. In AGM, both AGM is mandatory for all the companies to conduct every year. EGM is not mandatory to be conducted every year. Okay, only when there is some special emergency, EGM should be conducted. But AGM is mandatory to be conducted every year. Second difference. Okay. In AGM, both ordinary business matters and special business matters are discussed. And mainly ordinary business matters have to be discussed. EGM is conducted only to be discussed as special business matters. Ordinary business matters we will not at all discuss in EGM. Dividend is declared only in the AGM. In EGM, there is no further declaration of any dividend. Okay? AGM should be conducted only at the registered office or any other place where registered office is situated. Even though company is not performing well, AGM should be conducted. EGM can be conducted at any place in India. There is no specific rule that it should be conducted only at the registered office. Understood? EGM can be conducted at any place in India, and there is no specific rule that it should be conducted only at the registered office. EGM will be conducted only during the business hours. EGM can be conducted during the business hours or other than business hours also. Very important difference. Please note that. EGM should not be conducted during public holidays. EGM can be conducted on any day, including public holiday. This is a major difference. Here, only business hours, any hours. Not on public holidays, EGM will be conducted even including public holidays. Understood? These are the basic. Since in EGM we are discussing special business matters, it is mandatory for the board of directors to give a explanatory statement along with the notice. If, madam, in third case, when the EGM is called by requisitionist, if they fail to give an explanatory statement along with the notice that the meeting is invalid, no, very important theoretical question from examination perspective, this particular point is important. If the meeting is called by the requisitionist, explanatory statement to be attached to the notice is not necessary because it's an obligation of board of directors, is not the obligation of these members. Therefore, the provision is not applicable in this particular third category of EGM called by the requisitionists. Understood? These are the important points. If company fails to conduct an EGM, if company fails to follow the provisions of EGM, then company and its officers are liable for default. Understood? And all these points and case laws also I have discussed. These are the major difference between AGM and EGM. Both AGM and EGM are these both aspects are both belonging to general meetings only. They are meetings of the shareholders only. EGM is conducted in 4 types. Number 1 is EGM is conducted by the board themselves. EGM is conducted by the board on the request of the members. Those are called as requisitionists. EGM is conducted by requisitionists themselves if board failed to conduct. And fourth one is tribunal call for the EGM. Okay, EGM is conducted only for special business matters which can't be waited until next AGM. For example, if company members want to remove one person as a director because he's doing fraud to the company before his tenure itself, the company want to remove him. The members want to remove him because he's doing some fraud to the company. In such cases, they can't wait till next AGM. If they wait till next AGM, he'll do so much of fraud to the company. They want to remove him urgently. For that, they can conduct an EGM. Okay. So in these 4 ways, the EGM should be conducted. EGM can be conducted at any place in India during any hours. Okay, and even on public holidays also, EGM can be conducted. Okay, when the EGM is conducted by the requisitionist in the third case, if the quorum is not present within half an hour, the meeting is not adjourned, but it is dissolved. It's an important practical case. Okay, so with this, we have completed the concept of AGM and EGM. Today, I have discussed so very important provisions under Companies Act. We have discussed number one. We have discussed about notice 101, explanatory statement 102. We have discussed about explanatory statement 102, quorum 103, chairman 104, proxy 105. Okay, and we have discussed about AGM 96 and EGM with the section number 100. So with this, today's discussion of general meetings came to an end. But still the chapter is not over, students. Tomorrow we are going to continue the next part of general meetings. Tomorrow we'll complete the general meetings and we might start accounts topic also. Accounts in relating to Companies Act. Okay, so today we have completed half part of general meeting. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Hope everyone understood. Very important topic from exam. What all provisions we have discussed in today's class, please go through them. Listen again and again. Write all the important points and come back to the next class so that it will be a continuation for today's class. Today's class continuation is tomorrow's class. Okay, there's continuation for the remaining part of the general meeting. Okay, hope everyone understood. Today, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. Yes, it have covered all the amendments. All the amendments have also been covered. You need not worry. You can just follow my the class. You can follow whatever I have explained you. The concept is very important. The concept of general meetings is important. Okay. So please, friends, try to listen again and again. The general meetings topic is important. And tomorrow we will come back for the same concept, continuation of same concept. And tomorrow we will complete general meetings. And if possible, time permits, we will start with a new chapter of accounts relating to Companies Act. Hope everyone understood. So please note down all the important points and try to work out few practical cases, and I am giving few practical cases at the end of the session also. I'll explain you few practical cases and we will discuss them, and whatever practical cases you are having, please try to follow them. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.